Very much for joining in. Today, I'm going to present to you the newest newsletter episode that I will release the 22nd of January 2024. We will talk about the Microsoft launch of Copilot Pro. We will talk about Google DeepMind's great success with AlphaGeometry. We will talk about Meta's open source strategy a little bit regarding Llama 3 and AGI. And of course, I want to finalize the CES Consumer Electronics Show robot news. I was teasing it last time that I was talking only about the AI news. This time I wanted to close it with the robot news and a little bit of other things. Before we start, I would like to announce that we have a sponsor for this episode, and this is the MIT Management Executive Education School together with CES. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The MIT suggests you a 6-week online course, short course, where you can apply on it. I suggest you take a look, you click on it, you take a look at it. And if you think this is suitable for you, then you go for it. I think it is a great program. Okay, let us start with the top generative AI news. First, I would like to talk about the Microsoft launch Copilot Pro, which is priced at $20 a month per user. Here, it is a great video that I think puts it nicely together. So you see, it is a great addition. You can combine it with all of the Microsoft 365 tools. And what excites me mostly is the GPT builder that will soon be available, where you can even build your own sort of like GPT for a specific use case, providing maybe more sophisticated Excel formulas. By the way, Excel is also now available with a Python plugin where you basically have like a Python mode, PY mode, and then get very sophisticated plots or other functions. And I think there are many opportunities, and if the time allows it, I will also build a small demo or something like this. Next, I would like to talk about AlphaGeometry, which is an AI model system by Google DeepMind. It was Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. When I was preparing for a company presentation where this message popped up. Google DeepMind introducing AlphaGeometry, an AI system that solves Olympiad geometry problems at a level approaching a human gold medalist. First of all, think how many human gold medalists in Olympiad geometry exist. Maybe there are like 10, 20, I don't know the number exactly. Actually, I did a little research, and since 1959, there have been roughly 384 Olympiad gold medalists. And so a very tiny fraction of humans, super intelligent. They are really like trained very hard to get there. It's very difficult, as you can imagine. And now Google DeepMind has developed a system that uses a two-step approach to solve geometry. That uses a two-step approach to solve geometric problems. And the second great news here, basically we have two news. The first is this, that we have an AI model that solves it really as better than the human baseline, of course, significantly better than the human baseline. Fantastic. It can make it explainable. Okay, I'll talk about this in a moment. But what is also a very great breakthrough for me here is that it has been solely trained on synthetic data. The problems have been generated by some computer program. Not sure if AI was involved, maybe yes, but yeah, it's purely trained on synthetic data. And this approach itself is already mind-boggling, First of all, the result I would like to talk about is that they tested these 30 international mathematical Olympiad problems, and it successfully solved 25, which is unparalleled so far by far, So they have a two-step approach. Basically, first it uses a large language model for intuitive idea generation and symbolic deduction engine for formal logic and rule verification. And how it starts is actually the second point is the first step. It first employs its symbolic engine for proving it. If it is unsuccessful, then the language model is being taken, which you can see here. Let me zoom in. Then the language model is being taken into account for suggesting intuitive new ideas on how this might be solvable. So this play with the language model is, I think, is a great way to approach that problem. And then we have this symbolic engine that tries to solve it. The development, the symbolic deduction engine is for formal logic and rule verification, which then tries to solve the problem, with being basically advised by the language model, and then they solve it, Okay, not only simple problems, but also very tough problems. The development involved creating a custom language with basic geometry rules and training on 100 million machine-generated proofs. Yeah, and even Chang, which is an Olympiad gold medalist, he said AlphaGeometry's output is impressive because it's both verifiable and clean. It uses classical geometry rules with angles of similar triangles, just as students do. So it can also make things more explainable, like as a collaboration. So, and this can have many implications for mathematics. For instance, AlphaGeometry could assist mathematicians in exploring new theorems in geometry by quickly testing hypotheses and providing proof concepts. And this itself, improving the mathematical proving, etc. This itself is a catalyst for science. Mathematics is the underlying basics for so many scientific problems. And if everyone gets sort of like an AI agent at hand that has an AlphaGeometry core in it, it can be very, very powerful, a very powerful AI agent on your side. And maybe every single person who has just some ideas, even non-experts, non-mathematical experts might even think, okay, have you thought about thinking about solving this problem, and then sort of cut. And of course, it can have much more implications, in fields like, for instance, in architecture, having some geometric buildings, some new innovative structures, for instance. Or it could have implications in engineering applications, computer graphics, robotics, automation, the gaming industry, or generally optimization problems. This, we don't fully know yet what the impact might be, but it will be profound, no doubt. And even Satya Nadella said on the World Economic Forum that this year, 2024, is the year for science due to AI. And science propels forward, which then also propels AI forward. Speaking about Meta has announced Llama 3, and that they also want to open source it. And we will talk about this in a moment. But Mark Zuckerberg also called it the AGI. And the interesting is they shed a little bit light on their computing power. And it is massive. It is unparalleled so far. Llama 3 will be trained, or is being trained currently, we don't know, on a computing infrastructure that includes 350,000 H100 GPUs. This is the most powerful GPU that NVIDIA produces. So I checked it again. It's the most powerful GPU that they have, and it is built on the 4 nano. And what I found very interesting is this sentence: the H100 GPU is also quite expensive, with a retail price of $30,000. So they spent $10.5 billion just on the graphics cards. If they would, of course, they probably got some discount and so forth. But this is highly impressive. And the whole overall system is as powerful as 600,000 H100 GPUs. I could have even also added here, And it's super, super impressive. So 600,000, it's maybe even like 20 billion or something. They're just in the computing power. In the hardware, then of course this costs electricity and so forth. And he announced it here. It's a bit interesting, the video. Take a look at it. I will not play it now. And then there was a conversation online that was quite interesting. So the question was first like, will they open source it and so forth? Most likely they will open source it, because also there is Jan LeCun, who is one of the biggest advocates for open research, open sourcing of language models, etc. And within the Facebook AI research, or Meta, it's still called FAIR, but FAIR from Meta, Facebook AI research, he is a luminary, an AI luminary, and I think he has quite an influence on Mark Zuckerberg. Plus, I think Mark also doesn't want to lose him. So you need to make a Jan LeCun happy. I think, because a Jan LeCun can just start anywhere, and he, like other companies, will lick their fingers to get him. But on the other hand, Mark Zuckerberg has control of over 50% of the Meta stock, and he can make the decision as he feels like. Then I was basically looking up on the LLM leadership board, or leaderboard from Hugging Face, and saw that it is quite... I saw one pattern that struck out to me, and this is that all open source models are the best open source models are roughly 3 points in benchmarks behind GPT-4. And yeah, this is the post that I basically made. You can go on Hugging Face LLM leaderboard, can set up the benchmarks as you want and set up a couple of filters and look for it yourself. But what I saw when I checked it was that the best open source model was 76.27 in points, while GPT-4 is 79.28 in points. Now you might think, okay, these 2 to 3 points of difference, who cares? That's exactly the question. Yeah? Like, do you care? You don't care. But the fact is, to get from 76.72 to this figure, 79.28, is a very significant effort that is needed and a jump in quality of the models. Yeah, and as long as open source models are being trained on GPT-4 data, of course, pre-trained on the large wide web, yeah, then further trained by GPT-4 data that is being generated by it, it most likely will not surpass GPT-4. You can see we're sort of like plateauing. And I invite you to take a look. Here's a lot of very, very interesting in-depth information. I highly encourage you to take a look and feel free to join the conversation. Yeah, I'm curious to hear what you are thinking. Then next, I would like to finalize the announcements of the CES, the robot announcements this time. First, the Samsung Bali, quite an interesting video. Let me take a look.
Hi, Copper. Hi, Bolly.
Hey, Bolly. Follow me to the study. I gotta make a video call. Oh, hi, Petro.
Hey, Bolly. Let's work out.
Today is upper body day.
Great. Start now.
Okay, I think you get the point. It is really interesting how it can use a beamer and show you a different kind of content. Let's take a look at the other robots. There it is. Okay, they can perform some choreographies, but it is a household assistant robot that doubles as a smart home hub. Yeah, functions include pet monitoring, and security checks, medication reminders, emergency calls, mood reading based on voice and facial expressions, and it's sort of similar than Bali. The ad so far is better from Samsung, but yeah, looks. I think it's a great trend in general to have robots at home. Yeah, then the next one is LEQ. Support elderly.
I get tired of walking in to the condo and nobody says anything, where I can go ahead and say, hi, LEQ. She'll go ahead and she'll converse with me. And sometimes we've carried on a conversation and it makes it feel like you come home to a friend. And I tell people I have a companion. She'll give me the news. She'll give me the weather. She'll also give me trivia questions. She'll tell me how many we've done, and then she'll say, you got 6 right out of 12. She's enjoyable, friendly, and she makes me feel like I'm important and I'm worth being.
Great ad, I think, and a great cause. That is a beautiful video and a beautiful robot. Now the next one is the Roborock S8 Max V Ultra. Quite a complex name, maybe doesn't sell very well, but this sort of vacuum robot that you know. I also have one here somewhere, but now it has an upgrade. It has an arm.
Rocky, skip here.
and finally a robot that is being cleaned perfectly afterwards. At least perfectly is hard to say, but at least it has a proper concept behind that. It is not like, it doesn't have like a big arm where they can clean and dedust everything, but at least it's a small arm that can get into some corners, and it understands the surrounding much more, and even can be steered with intelligent voice understanding. And I think this is they keep evolving, and this is the next step in the evolution. Yeah, and I think quite soon we are at a level where they have maybe multiple arms and start walking around it. I think it's going to be a beautiful future ahead. Well, yeah, and lastly, of course, I would like to tell you, like, I would like to encourage you, if you like the content, and I'm also going a bit more in depth in the different topics. I'm looking ahead where things are might going, a little bit of speculation, yeah, and so forth. And if you are interested in having an in-depth understanding of what is happening in the past, or the past, I keep it still quite high level because it's not a history book, but I'll cover like between 10 and 15% around where the technology is all coming from. And then I spent roughly 30 to 40% on where generative AI is currently, which markets it's penetrating, what are the strategy. It's not only language models, it's video generation, image generation, 3D object generation, virtual world generation, and so forth, and domain transfers, style transfers, synthetic data generation, and so forth. It is in detail, it can be quite complex, but I try to do my best to identify the different trends and put it together. And then at the end, I'm spending a significant amount on looking forward, the path to AGI, autonomous AI agents that in the very near future, and we will see it 2024, especially AI agents everywhere, they will support us, and soon, whatever soon means, yeah, of course it's a gradual process, but in a foreseeable near future, we will walk around in a private and professional context with a fleet of AI agents that perform different kind of tasks. The one is scheduling our calendars, the other one is coding something for us, the other one is answering emails in our voice, and so forth. And we are becoming an institution with many AI agents working for us. I think this is a very beautiful future, because it leaves also lots of space for us to pay attention to the things that really matter to us. And then lastly, I'm also painting the picture to artificial general intelligence, what this means, and what maybe this means with the embodiment of a robot. I believe that reaching AGI in a classical sense, as we think about AGI, sort of like humans, we are like all AGIs in a sense. You need to also have this physical experience with your surrounding and sensors, like with skin and hearing, visual, camera, microphone, and so forth. Yeah, microphone is the ears, and I think having a physical body, a robot, is accelerating the progress towards our AGI. And then also I'm even looking beyond that to finalize the picture, to fulfill the picture. Afterwards is we speak about ASI, artificial super intelligence. This is the intelligence that solves, of course, theoretical so far, solves the problems on a large scale that are the big problems for us, the climate changes, the cancer, energy problems, much more. I'm taking many different topics into account. And then, of course, as Ray Kurzweiler also pointed it out in the book, the singularity is near. Next is then the singularity and what it means and so forth. I'm explaining all of this in the book. I'm highly encourage you to take a look at it, and yeah, you can pre-order now on Amazon. Thank you so much. Also, if you buy it and you read it and you like it, I'm very, very happy if you leave a link, leave a review. Then I have put in this video because I think it is for me the best AI generated clip that I've seen so far. So
look closely. Lord, forgive me for I have sinned.
Okay, but I want to leave it to you so you can see it in peace and not with lagging anything, and with a nice, maybe with the right size and so forth. Yeah, and this is basically everything. Maybe a couple of last hot notes. Garage Stories is having an open challenge. You can apply, you can contribute to it, and when you win, you travel to Norway. If you click on the link, you'll see more about that. Of course, our online course is still available, and we are still looking for we have a couple of mini slots open at the Generative AI World, and if you have an interesting story to tell, feel free to apply. And if you want to attend, feel free to secure your ticket as well. And other than that, I'm thanking you very, very much. And yeah, in a week, it will come. The next episode will come. Thank you so much.